Okay, so I feel sometimes you watch something and you're kind of left once it's done, right? You are kind of left hypnotized, and not in the way where you see something that is so good, you are just like, damn. It's in a way where sometimes you see something and it captivates you, but you can't quite put your finger on why, right? You don't really know what you just watched. There are threads flailing in the wind, but for some reason it doesn't matter, right? You're not frustrated. Yeah, that's the Wanting Mare. That is the Wanting Mare, people. It is the feature debut from Nicholas Ashe Bateman. So he's worked on, music videos for John Misty. I think he did cinematography for the Green Man, right? That hit last year. So he's been around, but yeah, this is his first feature. He wrote it as well. Um, it is produced by Bateman along with Shayab Iqbal, Zach Schaffer, Jeff Walker, David A. Ross, and it is co-produced with Cassandra Louise Baker, Ger Condes, Peter Katz, Mobisha Khan, Jordan Monahan, Viton Teller, George Vargas, with Jehad Zedan, Shan Zeb, Bulund Zaman, Matthew T. Welsh, Noah J. Kim, Salahadal Kahil, Lawrence Ingley, Richie Hatts, Gideon Kofi, Robert Brennan, Ibrahim Alisk, and Mohammed Abadullah. Executive producing, and Laurie Cummings, Clayton Ledoux, and Lisa Watt as associate producers. Aaron Boudreau handles the music. David A. Ross does the cinematography. Bateman also edits the film. Monahan and Charlotte Shurko handle the casting. Cassandra Louise Baker is production design. Duncan Blind Betul is the art direction. Jeremy Sellenfriend handles special effects and makeup. Jeff Walker, production management. Richard S. Ormsby is on the second unit. Art is from Jeremy Domachel and Amy Muniz. Sound is Jalen Thompson and Ben Watt. Bateman, Condes, and Chauffeur are on visual effects. Gina Jacobson is stunts. And our cast. The cast is crazy because there's a lot of people and we don't necessarily get names. You know what I mean? We don't really get names a lot of the time in the film. But we have Irith, who is played by Yasmin Keshka. She plays a younger iteration of Irith. We get Maxine Musto, who plays another iteration of Irith. And Alua David is a very young Irith. We have got Moira, right, who is played by Jordan Monahan. We have also got the older Moira, played by Christine Kellogg-Darrin, and a younger Moira, played by Ashley Nutt. Moira's got a sister called Catty, who is also the narrator. She is played by Kate Linshiel. There is Lawrence, right, who is played by, well, the older Lawrence is played by Josh Clark. Gosh, there is a younger Lawrence up in the spot. The younger Lawrence is played by yes, Nicholas Ashe Bateman plays the younger Lawrence. That's the one. Hayden is played by Edmund Kofi. Who else is there of note? I mean, there are, yeah, as I said, there's a lot of people up in the spot, but yeah, it's like, we got Aimin, who's played by Megan McGarry, Rylant, who's played by Anthony Perillo. Yeah, I'd say they're the main ones. The gist of the film is this: in the world of Anmaere lies the city of Whithren. We're told that wild horses are the city's most valuable export, and so they hunt, trap, sell, and ship them once a year across the sea to the continent of Levithen. While Whithren is a world of eternal and unrelenting heat, Levithen is in a constant state of winter. Each year, when the horses are shipped off to Levithen, the ship will also take passengers who have tickets. Unfortunately, the tickets are not only an incredibly rare commodity, but they are also highly coveted. So, yeah, that's a big thing, right? People, it's that kind of quest for a better future, right? And that's having a ticket, being able to go to Leviathan because, you know, the streets are paved with gold. I mean, that's not what they say, but that's the thing, right? The grass is always greener on the other side. There is this belief that you can have a better life there. So people want these tickets. Now we open up with, basically we get some text on the screen that tells us about the horses and the ship and all of this and the tickets, right? We then see a woman giving birth, right? She's holding this baby. Like, the midwife comes and takes the baby. Then we jump, right? And we have Moira. We don't get names at this point, but we kind of figure out, oh, this must be the baby grown up, right? And she goes to this club. Oh, now so there's one big thing, right? So the mother whispers to the baby, she's just like, you will have dreams. every night, but you can't tell anyone. And that seems a bit like, huh? What? But yeah, we jump forward, and Moira, she goes to this place all the time and sings, right? Sings and kind of dances, and that's her jam. And like it is, you wonder what's happening and what the situation is, because we just hear someone say, Moira, it's time to go. I'm shutting up. So she's like, okay. And then a few seconds later, we hear gunshots. She races out the back, and there's a guy, he's being shot, he's got a gun, but she goes to help him, takes him back to hers, right? This is Lawrence, young Lawrence. And we get this kind of thing, she's helping him, but I think there's this realization that he could get her in the ship, right? And so that's the bargaining thing. Hey, I'll let you go, you give me a ticket. But then it's kind of like he was never really a prisoner in the first place. He thought he was, she just is like, eh. But they kind of form this bond. And, things go in places, I think you can probably imagine, right? But during this time, we're not getting any real history, right? Understanding of who these people are, what's going on, right? None of it. And, things happen, right? But one day he comes back with a kid. And it's funny because we see this kid in these visions, and then suddenly he's got a kid and he gives it to her. And then we jump forward, like, I think it's 34 years, right? So you're just like, wait, what? And again, we see a young girl, again, dancing, again, with visions. And but she's got a horse, right? And you're like, oh, she must be the baby. You know what I mean? And it's this weird thing of like these things happening, and you're thinking, wait, but what happened to these people who we were just with? Where did they go? Right? And like at times you're a little frustrated because you're just like, but what about what? Come on, what happened with that? There was something there. What happened? And we're then following these other people, right? And this new lady, she kind of, so I think this is Erith, right? And she connects with Hayden, right? Because we see Hayden kind of, like get tickets, right? It looks like he's running some sort of gang or something, but again, there's not really a lot of detail. You don't fully know, but he has tickets, and right, we then see him with Earth. And so we have these threads, these things happen, these kind of repeating circles, but with slightly different flavors, Things get kind of alluded to, but not quite. Right? We get, word of commodities and things and stuff, but again, just breadcrumbs, But people, you're kind of transfixed by it all, right? You are sucked into this world. I mean, the film looks stunning. It looks stunning. It kind of reminded me of that film The Cell. Remember that film with Jennifer is it Jennifer Lopez? Or it might be Penelope Cruz. I forget. But it was that crazy film from, I think again I think it was Something Sing, right? And I believe he was a cinematographer. That was his first film, and it was like visually stunning. Didn't really make any sense. And there's things of that that kind of reflect with this, right? The Wanting Mare, you kind of there is a similarity, but there is more of a through line with this film, right? I I I enjoy this a lot more. And I think because although we don't get a load of depth in these characters, you are drawn to them, right? You do form attachments with them. You do like them. You're intrigued by them. You want to know more. You feel for them, right? And that's a huge thing. Creating that connectivity with what's happening on the screen, right? There's sometimes, and we learn so much about people, but you just don't care. You know what I mean? So for Bateman to be able to do this, even though we are scratching our heads, like, uh, what happened here? What? That's crazy. That's fascinating, you know? So we have this, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was just like, yo, what's happening? Where is this going? What? Ah, and you know, you're like, no, you can't do that, or what? No, oh my days. And you know, towards the end, when this other stuff, you know, gets revealed, you're just like, oh, okay, yes, awesome. Right? You are sucked in. You are really sucked in. You know, there is this great use of light. It is dark in places, but you know, we have like shadow and reflections, and you know, these kind of not quite neon lights, but it's just different form of lighting in some of the rooms and everything like that, which really creates this, you know, ambiance, this atmosphere, you know, these different kind of tapestries. And we get, again, there are still more leaps in time that happen. But like as the film does go on, the threads become closer, more intertwined together, and we can see the connective tissue more. People, it is a, you know, it's like you play chess, right? And you know the moves, you understand, okay, my pawns move like this and my king moves like this. But then you realize there's chess masters, you know what I mean? And it's just like what you thought was playing chess ain't shit to them. And it's like knowing story, you know, knowing fantasy, sci-fi, all of these things. And then a motherfucking chess master comes and shows you this new board, and you're like, what? But I need to know more. I'm intrigued. Teach me. Right? That is what the Wanting Mare kind of is, right? You're watching a chess master do their thing, and you're just transfixed to watching, understanding a certain amount, right? But some of it is going over your head, but you're intrigued. it's fascinating to you, you know. So yeah, people, you can rent it or buy it from Monday the 7th of February, you know. um yeah, I am, you know, ah I'm just really pleased I got to see this film, you know. It is, yeah, really good. Like Witchfinder kind of handled the distribution, and yeah, man, I am just so grateful that they hit me up about this, because yeah, this it is something else, and I am very intrigued to see what Bateman does next. Like these performances, you know, again, although we don't learn a lot, but everyone gives us this portal into these characters' souls. You know, they give you these deft little touches, these looks, these movements, and everything is a layer, right? It's a little peek into these characters, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating, people. The Wanting Mare, people. I definitely feel if you like these intriguing stories, these things that flitter just out of your grasp, right? If that's your thing, then I think you'll want to give this one a look. Okay, so mark it down, the 7th of February. Rent or buy from your favorite VODs, people. The Wanting